So, what was your take before hearing the last couple of episodes on that framework or Peter O'Sullivan, and what you were hearing, what you were seeing that maybe you agreed with, or maybe that you didn't agree with?
Well, before after reading about it, I felt kind of that they want to have CFD should take over from the other systems that are available right now because they are failing or have failed in their opinion. So that was my feeling, kind of, okay, scrap the things because it hasn't worked. Let's embrace this new kind of way of looking at things. But after I listened to Peter, and especially after Mark Laslett, it seems like it's the small population really that Peter is really talking about. Like, okay, for a lot of people, the other stuff is actually working, but for this minor population, it isn't. And then the CFD could be maybe the answer, an answer maybe. So that's the kind of difference. I felt they were kind of well, like pushing mud on like the MT system, but I don't feel as much anymore after listening to both the first episode actually.
Yeah, yeah, you're right, and that was important, I think, to grasp. And I think Mark was Laslett was right in kind of highlighting he's not talking about those that show some rapid change or show some familiar patterns to their response within the assessment system itself. But when you hear Peter talk about, he mentioned the word derangement, and we hear this in other circles out there, maybe online, like you will frequently go and check up on, that it's not helpful to use the word or use words like derangement. What are your thoughts on that, Mark?
Um, maybe it's like that, but I almost never use the word deranged with patients because it's a weird word, and maybe in English it's used for other things. In Swedish, it kind of isn't, but it's not a word that you would use in like everyday language. So I I don't think we as a clinician to patients we don't need to use it, but we could if you frame it in the right way, like Laura Mannering, she's writing a lot of derangement on her posts, but she's
Mhm.
also saying that's a good thing because it means it's changeable. We can do stuff with it. So I think words can harm. Absolutely, it's been shown. I don't know if derangement is harmful by itself any more than other like tear or other words. But I know they are like Peter Sullivan is very they really hate the word. I don't know why. Um, really.
Yeah. Yeah. And my point was, and I think it was kind of, I wasn't maybe as clear when I first asked the question of, well, what about the word inflammation? He kind of took it as, what about inflammation, not the word. But I intended what if we use the word sprain or strain, and that patient that we're using the word with has had a significant sprained ankle before, and they just, inside them, they cringe thinking about, oh no, in my back I could have the same thing that I had, which was very, life impacting for me for a while,
Mm.
wear and tear, or even, simple words like age related changes. Well, I'm getting older, so that must mean things are going to get worse as I go along. Can we go too far with worrying about the words that we use, or being overcautious about them?
Mm. Yeah, I think we can actually. It's about framing and like every patient can have different framings in all kind of words. Then you're going to walk on a minefield. No, I can't say this. I can't say this. So I think if you have the right report with the patient, there's trust, and you can explain what things mean. Then I don't think it's too bad of a problem. But I heard that he kind of took the your question kind of wrongly because his inflammation, well, it's more evidence based. That's what he said, because he meant derangement is not evidence based. Well, I don't kind of I don't think it's true, but that's my bias talking, of course.
Hear the entire episode for free on iTunes, Spotify, other favorite podcast players, or go to mechanicalcareforum.com.